We're back at Virtual Pool 4. We might not be here very long though, folks. Get this thing set right. We might not be here for some reason. Today the PC's been starting automatically at any time. Virtual Pool 4 all day testing and getting rebooted in the middle of the game, or the game just restarting. Not the PC restarting. As I had that for a period of time a while ago, and then it all went away, and now it's come back with a vengeance today. But yes, I did get ahead this morning. Even my webcam's lagging. Looking at there, mind you, it gets better once the game actually starts, once you're in a room. But no, the live stream could be over very quickly. Be over before the match actually starts, because we've still got about 7 minutes to go, and if it happens and I go and it happens out of the blue, that'll be the end of the stream, and it probably going to ruin the rest of the tournament for me until I get there's obviously, I mean, I did, and here's a strange thing as well. Is the audio going at the moment? Yeah, it'll break up. Well, it should recover again once we get warmed up. It should get better. It usually does. But again, peak time at this time on a Wednesday night. I mean, we're to 7 o'clock. So they're chopping, changing and throttling things back and doing all sorts. What was I saying? I've lost track of what I was talking now. We might as well get a look back at before things go, because this could end very rapidly. Believe me, it could. Match tonight is Goose against Cobra or VPMongoose, which is going to start at the top. There's another couple of matches on tonight. There's a clash with a one lost side match, and we'll start from the top. It's Dirties against Sergresh at 8 o'clock. But I think further down, find it, I've probably gone past it again. No, there it is. We've got Marsha against Gung Ho at 7 o'clock. So we've got two matches clashing. This match with Monster and Cobra at 7. This one lost side one, and then there's another one at 8. In fact, the other thing is Bedhead. I don't know whether Bedhead's arrived yet, but Bedhead said about him and Linus, and nothing's been said. That was possible to go ahead tonight, but there's nothing said in the bracket yet, so I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I did a malware scan earlier on, and I found about half a dozen different Trojans on the set, and they were all Bitcoin stuff. How the hell did I get them on the PC? I had nothing to do with Bitcoin, but Malwarebytes found them, and I think I found about 57 different things. And the other thing is whenever I had a restart with this PC, whenever it's just been restarting, even a few months ago, and I checked the event log under critical errors and stuff like that, you know, the red ones, and it always comes as a kernel 41 error, which when you Google it tells you it's like a power error, but it does very vague. It's a very vague error, because it tells you it's problem, this, that, the next thing, and it's very vague to narrow down what it is. But my testing the temperatures and things, there's nothing overheating as far as I'm aware. It's just straight out of the blue. It could happen right now in the blink of an eye, and I just don't know what the hell it is. Frustrating. 3-1, isn't it? I noticed that they don't just do a straight free one now. It's now a trial version that they do for it's a 15-day trial you get for and then they want you usually to buy the fully registered version. But anyway, these Bitcoin things were on my PC. I don't know where they came from. But we're about, I think both players were here. I did a Malwarebytes and then and I'll tell you what I did. See, before I came to lobby, I did a super anti-spyware, and I did a critical scan with that, and it came back quite quickly. And found after I'd done the Malwarebytes one, then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll do a full scan. Started super anti-spyware doing a full scan. I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, the PC was restarted. And that wasn't because super anti-spyware didn't find anything. That's because the PC just did out the blue again. That's what's happening. It can just happen at any point. It's been happening all afternoon. You know, 2 and 3 times the other, and each time I go and check the event log, it's kernel KEL41. So bloody frustrating. You know, I'd be actually more happy if it had a blue screen of death, because then you know there is a major problem, and at least you can get the right thing looked at. The only guess you can come down to is it's a supply problem. So I've changed my power settings and all of that. I've done all the scans to do. I did a Windows repair, and I haven't a clue what it is. And I've just crossed it. This will hold out for this match. Talking about this match, we are about a minute away. I feel stone lighter when I get my head done. I mean, that's a number 0, and it's still get hair in your head. I would have preferred to have been skinned. We've still got like bristles on the top of your head, but 0 instead of a number 1, which I normally get. And the usual thing, the girl says, you can get a half instead of a 1. I said, no, I want a 0. I said, just a whole lot off. I'm sick, fed up looking at it. I was supposed to go and get it done before Christmas. Lockdown came. And I was too busy at Christmas to actually go and get it done. So anyway, the 2 matches up, Mongoose and Cobra. It might probably restart now that the game's actually running as such. Now that the graphics are running. I don't know whether it's a graphics driver issue. It could be something stupid like that. But I could only try going back to the older driver and see if that makes any difference. It's always a process of elimination. Good evening, everybody. I hope you heard most of that, because as I say, it could be a short stream. We've got technical problems. We don't know what they are, but if it results in the stream dying, then that'll be it for the night. And as I said, it probably will be for the tournament, because there's no point in starting streams, and it's just so annoying. The thing starts getting interrupted. Anyway, well, VP Monster's going to have to be on his game, and like all the other guys in this tournament, take their chances when they get them against players like Cobra, because you're not going to get a lot. So race to 19. Now the webcam gets a bit smoother once the thing starts running, once the game's running. Yeah, I looked at myself in the mirror when I got home, and I immediately thought I looked like Alf Garnett, because I had a big thick beard this morning, so that all came off. But I left a tash, and I thought I just looked. Mark will know who I'm talking about. I just looked like Alf Garnett with the glasses on and the baldy head. Well, these are the opportunities that you just simply must take. You know, you cannot afford to blow these. especially when there's nothing really difficult about taking this rack out. Well, the difficulty now is this shot, because he could only draw back out into the table to play the 5 long, and the 6 needs to go into that middle pocket, and he needs to keep rolling. It needs to keep going. Well, this is a test, and this is where it can all go wrong. I look like Richard Dreyfuss. And that wasn't exactly what came into my head. Well, that's well done so far. And also at 7:30 tonight, Stephen Hendry plays his second qualifying match against, I presume he's a Chinese guy. I think his name is Ji Shi. I think it's XISI or something like that. I checked on the World Snooker Tour website this morning. So that is due to start in about 25 minutes, and it should probably be on that live stream that Mark had the other night. So VP Monster off the mark. 1 rack to the good. But Cobra now, well, he's got to get 2 good shots here, a good pot, and get good in the 3. Mark will probably have the same link from somewhere, which hopefully he can get, because I want to watch that after this is done. I mean, this is a young Chinese boy I've never heard of. He's probably, you know, a rookie young kid, I would imagine. Yeah, that 3 looks tight. Yeah, he's played it well. I was watching a clip of Till Death Us Do Part the other day there, and it was, remember Una Stubbs used to be in it. She was the daughter, and she was dressed up to go out for the night, and Alf said, "Look at the state of you." He says, "You can see your belly button," talking to his daughter, and then behind him out came Dandy Nichols, and she had a big wig on, and she had her makeup on. He says, and it's the way that Alf says it. He says, "Go blimey, what's it?" He says, "What do you look like? What do you bleeding look like? Bleeding Ken Dodd, that's what you look like." It's funny. Oh dear, not politically correct. You'll never see it in television anymore, just the same as you'll never see Love Thy Neighbour. But they're all on YouTube if you want to watch them. Anyway, Monster's lead was short-lived. It's 1 rack all. My fingers are still crossed that this will stay on for the remainder of the match. But as I say, if your stream dies, that means I've died, and all that means is just jump into the room to watch the rest of the match, because that's what I'll be doing. With 32, I think that was the most I've had for a stream last night in this tournament. 32 we had last night, which is not bad for me, considering that, what's his name, what do you call him, the bloody Swede, what's his name again, PewDiePie, considering he sits there with 30,000 people watching him, 32 is not bad. Yeah, I noticed that. See, there is something going on here. I've noticed. Is the audio still choppy, or is it recovered? Because I've noticed that when I entered the room, and you notice that the room says "Hi, good luck." Well, I presume that would be VP Monster when he arrived. The audio's cleared up. I thought it would. So, just in case anybody doesn't know, Mongoose is VP Monster, who generally, most of the time, is on sometimes early mornings on my days off, because he lives in the States, and he's predominantly a cowboy or carom player, and he's changed his name to Mongoose for this match. Because Mongoose, is it Mongoose? Mongoose, they like to bite the heads off cobras. But Cobra's going to get the first bite in, because he's going to take the lead here. And the top 10 for the Racks run is getting interesting. It's beginning to bunch up. One or two players have got themselves on there, and one or two have moved up. And there's only one rack in it for the lead. And you've got Stubb and Larry tied on 12. I can't even remember who the leader is now. It's Tommy Yu, I think, is the leader. And of course, as I said at the beginning of the tournament, it could well be somebody in the one-loss side that ends up getting to the top. And Tommy Yu is that player, because he lost in that final rack decider to LS3, which sent him over to the one-loss side, and then he won his last match, albeit, if you didn't see it, a very, very close match, where, well, while we were watching the other match last night, Tommy Yu was getting to 6-0, or I think 8-0 against Wanwa in a race to 13, and then in the end Wanwa was 10 racks all, should have been 11-10 in front, and that's where he lost the match. Tommy Yu ended up getting the last 3 racks, so it ended up being quite an exciting finish last night. Yeah, you got to see Woody's video. I think the main thing, I don't think he really, well, from what I can get, he hasn't really grasped the fact that whether or not what he was doing was innocent enough to be doing something like that in a gaming situation is going to set the alarm bells ringing with a lot of people. And you know, if we would understand that and accept that part of it, then that's fine. You know, he's pleading innocence. He wasn't going to do this and do that, but you know, people have got every right to accuse him of dodgy goings on. When you see 2 names with the same profile anyway, or the same player in a tournament and stuff like that going on. Anyway, that's done and dusted. Mongoose, or VP Mongoose as I prefer to call it, or VP Monster. There's a better name for him. Cobra with the bank, and once again, nice enough on the 5, should be out to open up a 2-rack lead. Now I said to Albinari this morning, just to let you know, I went into his room just to annoy him. I think he was playing with 2 or 3 guys, and I asked him what was happening with him and Mal, and I think from what I can gather, I might be wrong, but he said, I think Albinario said he had offered either Friday or Saturday at 8 PM my time. So that would be 9 PM Albinario's time. Now 8 PM is still a late enough start for me. It means it's then encroaching into my bedtime. But having said that, that might all be it might all be immaterial the way my PC's going, because I don't know whether it would survive that long anyway. And I'm amazed I'm still here without the thing going tits up right now. Well, I don't think it's that cut and dried that this is Cobra's tournament. Yes, if Cobra plays his top game, he's going to be well in there with a chance. But there's a lot of firepower out there at the top end of the tournament, or that will get to the business end of the tournament. So it's going to be a bit of luck here and there, good luck, bad luck, that might make the difference. But it might not be quite as well. Let's just put it this way: I wouldn't be buying the champagne and getting the after tournament party set up yet if I was Cobra. But he's got a chance tonight to get himself moved up that top 10 leaderboard for the extra 1,000 $. Well, you did schedule. When did you schedule it then? Because I've been waiting all day to see if it was going to be scheduled. It's starting in 20 minutes. That's no good, that. We're going to have to just keep an eye on it then. And if I'm still here, then we'll join it after this one's done. But anyway, good luck. Good luck and don't do anything numpty-ish. That's my advice. Common sense and think about what you're doing. Well, Cobra has got himself that 2-rack lead. And don't think he's quite got cover. Hang on a minute till I change this mouse, it's too slow, hang on. Why did I bloody go out the screen? Hang on a sec. Well, I'll tell you why I did, because it usually leaves my cursor on the screen. I'll be back in 2 seconds, just give me a second to get this other one in place. I'd prefer this one better. 2 secs. Right. That's better. Right, now, where have we got to? Well, there's the old bedhead cut. That was pushing the boat out too far there for VP Monster. That's better pace. And he's got it mostly covered, I say, but can he see enough of that to get the pot? I think he might be able to just tweak it. Yes, he can. So this is going to be another rack leaking away here early on. So already VP Monster knows what's required of him. He's going to have to get the bite on Cobra. Well, he's not going to do much with a break like that. I mean, 3 or 4 balls went in, the 9 ball was one of them, and it's 5-1. And he's moving the cue ball up to the kitchen line and still breaking from the centre spot. 6 ball goes in. 1 ball's going to go in the middle. This rack's over as well, I'm afraid. Well, for Monster that is. Five goes past the 9. Just having a decent enough angle to run from that 5 up to the 9, and he might be a bit straight here. Now the other problem is he's a bit too close to the rail. That's added to the difficulty. Well, it's looking good now. And Cobra certainly adding to his racks ran tally. He's going to be jumping up that leaderboard, because that 9 ball in the break counts as 1. Any that happened before it count, and this one here's going to count. So he's already making a move. And of course that's see, it'd be good if that statistic thing was actually on the fly, if it actually worked on the fly, but it only updates. Yeah, if it updated in the fly, but only updates after the match is over. Well, it's already developing into a mountain here for VP Monster. Nothing you can do though if you can't get the break, and somebody like Cobra's just running the table. 9 ball goes in again. 9 ball gets kicked in, and it's 7-1. And this break's falling into place for Cobra. And not this time. And again, the table is wide open for Monster. But it's all about the control of the cue ball. But this has been a blistering start for Cobra. But VP Monster just has to stick to his game. And what I always say is, don't get desperate too soon. Stick to the game if you get that chance. The most important thing is about when you get a chance that you take it. That can settle you into the game. Once you've done that and won a rack, you've got the break. If your break starts working for you, you can easily get back into the match. Well, that's gone a bit too far for comfort. He would have been much rather looking at this 6 into the pocket rather than offline. And again, as soon as you start going slightly offline in one, you end up going a bit more offline in the next one, and then things get more difficult. And that needs to just hold its line, which will do. Now, does he want to just come back and kill that a wee bit? I would think so. And that's a good response, having got the chance. It was important he took that out, and now hopefully he's been looking at where Cobra's been breaking from, which he has, and he's going to give it a go. That 4-ball looked, oh, that little kiss in the 7 took it in. But, well, let's just be honest, it's not a great shot he's got in the 1. Very tight, but he's got it. And now, the most important shot is going to be the 5 to the 6. Now, does he decide to drop the 5 and take the 6-9 combo? That looks like the simplest shot to play. So if he doesn't get ahead of himself, he'll roll the 5 in, roll through to here and play a simple enough combo in the 9. But he's missed the 2. And he's got away with it. So, Monster may well get another chance at this. Cobra's having a look at the kick behind the 2 to see where the 7's going. The 7's going to the left of the 3. It's not going to hit the 3. And he got everything thick there, I think. Did he hit that 2 first? Yes, he did. But he's left a shot here for Monster. Once again, need I say, he should be out. So it's as it's going to be before. Pot the 3 and roll the 5 until you're dead straight on that 6, and then you've got a straightforward enough combo. So I don't think he should be trying anything ambitious here, like stunning across behind the 6. Just play it simple, take the combo. Well, that's not a great shot, simply because he wasn't straight in the 5, and he's now made it more difficult. But in it goes. And it's a couple of quick racks for Monster. He needed them. But he needs a ball in the break as well. He ain't getting it, but look at this 9 ball. It's, well, I thought it was going to get brushed near the pocket there by that 7, but it is a dry break. And Cobra having a study at the lay of the table, so the obvious problem with the 3 ball. Now he could pot the 3, sorry, the 2, leave the cue ball here somewhere, play the 3-7 combo. Or, if he can pinch enough angle, he can try and get in the gap between the 3 and the 5. Nope, he's going to keep it as simple as he can. So the 3-7. And he's hoping the 3 ball stays there as well. Which is not a guarantee because of the line that he's got on it. It's not as straight as he would have liked. But the 3's still in play. And now it's difficult as well. He might have to leave the outward longer cut in the 4, and then the problem then is getting back here for the 5, so he's got a lot of travelling to do. And this is make or break for this rack. Unless he decides to leave the long bank on the 5. But he's going to need a lot of movement here. Oh, he's played that well. That's excellent. Well, Cobra is being single-minded. He's not fazed by the fact that Monster just won 2 quick racks, or reasonably quick. He's just got one single goal in his mind, and that's to get to 19 first and get this match over with. And we'll keep an eye on the bracket, as Linus says he's due to start, or should have just started I would think, against Bedhead. We'll have a quick look at the end of this rack and see how things are shaping up on the bracket. So Cobra stretches the lead to 5 again, and now back with the break. Was it 2 minutes it starts? Let's see what happens this time. Bedhead might be trying this break. Well, he's certainly got a ball, but once again he's got a difficult one to get good on this 2, because the 2 doesn't go to either pocket. Blocked by the 3, blocked by the 5, but simply potting the 1 will give him control of the table. If he can see the 2, he'll at least be able to play a half decent safety shot. His chances of being able to pot the 2 are fairly slim. Well, that's going to scratch, I think. So that's the type of error that Monster has to take full advantage of. But he's got the same problem trying to decide where to pot this or play the combo on the 2-3. I think he's probably better playing the combo. At least it keeps the 2 at this end of the table pretty adjacent to the pocket. But he's played that too firm. Didn't give it a chance for that 3 ball really to go in. So Monster's chance has came and gone in the blink of an eye with ball in hand. Cobra's giving this a good look. He just needs to make sure that that 2 cuts just the left side of that 3 so it makes the angle, and he's trying to squeeze it in past the 3. I notice Steve does a lot of this coming into the room and then just going out the room. I don't know what the idea is behind that. So it's looking very likely that VP Monster's 2 quick racks are going to be quickly snuffed out. The only difficulty here is that Cobra's struggling for angle with this 5 ball, so he may well end up just leaving the 7 as a long cut. Well, he's trying to squeeze as much out of it as he can there to go over to the right hand side. That's probably as good as he could expect. And now it's just about the weight of the shot, getting the cue ball off the bottom rail for the 8 into the middle, or up to the middle of the table for the 8 into that top right hand corner pocket, which is the way that he's chose. Now how is he going to be hampered here? He's just a wee bit annoyed by the 9. This can still go wrong though, but it's all down to your pace control of the cue ball, and if you're pretty good at that, your odds are that you're going to get pretty good on a 9, as Cobra has. So it's going to be 9-3. And if his break starts working well again for him, he could race away with this. Well, everything's looked at pockets, but nothing's gone in. And Monster can run for cover here if he wants. Well, again, it's not difficult to kick this one. He's jumping it, but you could spin around a 5 onto the rail and kick the one. There's enough room to get there. But Cobra, well, I never looked at the gap down the rail, but Cobra obviously thought he could get that one good enough to try and squeeze it past the 6. Well, this is going to run into stuff here, I think. He's going to hit the 7. Oh, he's managed to get through the gap. How's his luck? It's not that bad. Now let's have a look at the 3. The 3 goes, no problem there. It's all about the 2. Now there's a problem, and it's quite a big problem. Well, he's not going to get to that problem, but Cobra's going to have to deal with it. If you're going to give yourself a chance of potting the 6, you have to get like here at the worst. The problem with that is that it's too much angle to hold this 7, so the chances are the cue ball's going to end up here, end up playing an awkward cut. But it's another chance that Monster's let go, and he cannot afford to do it. Every time you do it, it's a rack gone, basically, because Cobra's not really going to give you more than one chance in the rack. But this is the one that can be causing the issue. This position to the 6 ball certainly doesn't go past the 7 along the bottom rail, and he's chosen to leave it long, a bit longer than I thought. So now it's up and down the table. Well, if this doesn't scratch, the pace is good. Oh, he's unlucky. That was heading right down. That was going to finish just about there on that 7. Well, now what does he do? Again, you know, if this was stub, he'd be going for a slam on the 7, but Cobra's a bit more sensible. He's gone for the safety. And I think that Monster is going to have to give this a slash. He's looking at how far it's off the rail. He's going to give it a go to see if he can help it in. And that inside English, he's got lots on it, will take him to the side rail soon enough and help the pot. Now he's got the pot. He's got to follow up with another one. And this is a shot I like to play with top right English. You pot the 8 that way, and the top right English takes the cue ball that way, and that way to get onto the 9. And he's taking that line, but he hasn't got the pace. Now, I tell you what the problem there is. I don't think he had enough inside right English on it to help it around, because the spin would have speeded the cue ball up off the rail to get to here, and he's left it short. So all out for the bank, and he's managed to pinch it. So this time, well, the break's sort of working for Monster. He's got a ball and he's got half a shot in the 1. But once again, a slim chance of having anything good on the 2. I need a drink. I very much need a drink. Well, he can get downright dirty here with this shot. As long as he misses the 3, if he wants to, he can go for the cut, or he can punch this around the table. But if he's going for the cut, he's going to have to back it all the way, and he's overcut it out. He's cut it away from the rail. It was much easier to punch that around the table and have Cobra in trouble. Well, this 2 will go. It's tight, but it does go. He's just got to get it in line parallel to the rail, so when it brushes the rail, it doesn't brush the rail too far up the table, or too near us, I should say. Now he's deciding just to run and hide. Again, the sensible option. And there might be enough room for Monster to come through the gap and try and spin the cue ball onto that 2 to cut it. Maybe not. I'm not convinced the more I look at it, but the line's maybe not that good. I don't think he's got enough room. He'll settle for that maybe. That looks okay. But Cobra's got options here. He can run for cover up the top end of the table and keep the 2 down here. I'm surprised this stream is still going. Believe me, the amount of times this PC's rebooted today. Unbelievable. I can't believe I'm still here. Right. Well, what's needed here is a very good safety. Now, although Cobra hasn't got the cover, he's still got the distance, and I still stand by. You're still far better off having distance between the 2 balls to get safety. But well, there's Monster played a 2 in 1 shot there. He's gone for the bank on the 2, gave it every chance to go in, and the cue ball's on the 3 but locked away behind the 8 ball for safety. That was excellent. Well, I don't know what this Bitcoin crap was. I don't do anything Bitcoin. As I said earlier in one of the earlier streams, I haven't a clue what Bitcoin's about at all. I have no idea, but Malwarebytes found like 5 or 6 different Bitcoin things, and they were all listed as, what do you call them, Trojans. But Malwarebytes found them and quarantined them and got rid of them. Well, Monster's got to be thinking positive here, because he's got a result, he's got a chance with ball in hand. He's already blew a ball in hand chance earlier on. He's got plenty of room to get down to the 3. He's got plenty of room to get on the 4. The problem is getting round onto the 5. And then the other problem is the 7 hidden behind the 9. Now these are just a little bit fiddly to work your way around. So this is where you have to keep your head screwed on. Is he going top side here? It looks as if he might be going top side of this 4 up for the right middle pocket. Up the top end. The angle that he's got in the 3 would suggest that was the best shot to play. Well, he's made a complete arse of that. I mean, that's for a player of his level, he shouldn't be doing things like this. Okay, he's got away with it, but that was very poor. And again, there's nothing difficult where he was sat there, because you look at the area that he had to get the cue ball into to get on this 4. Huge area. Oh, look at this. That is going to hurt. That is going to hurt big time. Cobra's not only got the 3, but he sent the cue ball up the table for the 4. And this is how to make errors hurt for your opponent. If your opponent makes a hash of it with a very good chance when they're at the table, there's nothing better than you coming in and showing them how to do it. This is how you drive home the point. If you can take this rag out, that will make Monster feel the pain. Well, he's just got more angle in this 5 than he would like. He still wants to run to the rail with a wee, maybe even a wee bit of top right, just to make sure he's heading in the right direction, and maybe not much at all or any, just to get there. That's fine. And this is a bad rack for Monster, considering the position he was in on that 3, with a huge area to get up to the 4. Took his eye off the ball, thinking too much about the 4, and he's blown it, and now he's watching it being... He's been pickpocketed here by Cobra. Literally pickpocketed. You just cannot give players like this any more than one chance in a rack. If you start giving them opportunities left, right and centre, you're going to pay the price. And Monster's paying the price by trailing by 6. And Cobra has got a ball and a shot, or has he? Yes, he has. Let's have a quick look at the bracket and see how things are going. Well, Bedhead is already stretching away. He's 4-1 up against Linus. Let's move up the 1 loss side. Dirties doesn't start till 8, but we had another one started at 7. Where the hell's that gone? Or did that one not happen? Oh, there it is. Mark Shark against Gung Ho, and Mark Shark is on the brink. That match will be over. He's 12-3 up. That result will come through any second now, I would imagine, if we can get this to work. I've got, I've had a Vast, and then I went to AVG, and I mean I'm not paying for antivirus programs, because I think that's the biggest rip-off there is. You know, buying it and then having to buy it next year and all that crap. That's just a money-making load of shit, and that's why I would never pay them. It's just a rip-off. It's a license to print money for all the suckers that want to pay it every year. Well, this is a glimmer of a hope here for Monster. Just a glimmer, because this is in no man's land, this 6 ball. Pick your pocket, Cobra. Well, if you can get me a good antivirus that's free and you don't have to pay for it, I'll take it. I'll give it a go. And Cobra, well, he should be in trouble here. Monster should have this nailed to the 7. That was a difficult shot in the 6. Well, I should have probably been up there to have a look and see if it potted, and the 6 did go. And Mongoose, or Monster anyway, should be getting one back. Well, he's back to within 5. It's a long haul already for Monster. I mean, these balls are breaking good, but the 8 ball's finally got in, and he's got a shot in the 1. Now, I think he might want to try and nudge back for the 2, either into the right middle or the same pocket as the 1, because the angle he's got, the cue ball wants to come into the table. But this is the first obstacle he has to get across, this 1 ball. And again, he's pushing these away from the rail. He's not reading the line at all. He's done at least 2 of them, if not 3, where he's cutting them up the rail, but he's cutting them out the way. He's not picking the line very well. And I think the other problem is he's trying to do too much with the cue ball, which is partly the reason as well that he's doing that. He's forcing through with the cue ball too much, and he's basically not playing the shot. He's not stroking the shot. He's giving it a slam, which when there's a bit of tension in your mouse arm, as they say, or as they say in real life, your cue arm, you tend to jab it through rather than smoothly stroking it through. Well, his chance may well have gone again there. Did everything but go in that 3 ball. £50 for a 2-year sub. That, I'll tell you, Popman, they will love you. No way I would pay that. You're their ideal customer if you're going to pay them £50 every 2 years. Oh, the yawning started. Oh dear. I just hope the PC holds up. And the 2 ball smoothly stroked in. Well, who is it that made the famous quote? Or I'm probably paraphrasing it, but who said this quote? You've got to play like it means nothing, even though it means everything. And there's never been a truer statement. Basically what it means is you play your game as if it does mean nothing, but you're so focused on what you're doing, you're trying every single shot, you're on the ball, and Cobra's been pretty good at doing that. And there's only one way to combat this, and that's very difficult to do, and that's to beat Cobra at his own game. That's break and pot and run out. But it is so vital that whenever you get that chance at this level, you must take them out. There's no if or but. There's no waiting in a second chance. You have to take them. And when you don't take them, you end up 11-5 behind. Simple as that. It's so difficult. And Cobra's had, what, 1 or 2 9 balls in the break in this match. And there's another one. I mean, that is just jabbing at you with a stick, that one. because in a lot of his breaks he's got these balls rolling. He's got a fair bit of movement in them. Fair enough, that one's come up dry, but this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's come up dry, all the balls are on, and Monster simply knows that he has to get on this 2-ball and take this rack out, and if he doesn't, it's a failure, and if he doesn't, he knows he's further behind. That's what the pressure is of playing guys at this level, and he's going to have to punch this 2-ball, and you can do it. You can just punch the 2 with a wee bit of help in English, not much, to steal the angle and get around and out for this 3. Well, he's looking. I don't understand that. I mean, that's a sort of half-hearted way of getting there. You've got to pinch the angle and get that cue ball around. But he's now got himself nice on the 4. Well, I daren't say anything, I don't want to jinx him. But that's going to have to run. Well, it wiped its feet, but in it goes. It's going to be 1 back. It is a long way to climb for VP Monster, and I'm afraid when you've got straight in 9 balls and you end up doing that, then you're writing your own obituary here with those shots. It's now 13-5, so we've got an immediate 2-rack swing there. We've gone from getting it back to 6 to trailing by 8. Cobra with a 4-ball and a break, and he's maybe going to have a bash, although he's a bit close. But no, I think he's again doing the sensible thing. He's just trying to hide the 1 as much as he can and leave it as awkward as he can for his opponent. Now, the amazing thing is, I think that's a foul. I think Monster hit the 9 there. The amazing thing is, it'd be great if we had a lot of these one-dimensional players watching this match, because the shot that Cobra had there was nothing really on that 1 being next to the 9. So he decided to play the safety and he's got his reward. Whereas these one-dimensional players would have all had a bash at trying to create something out of that 1 and 9 and thought absolutely nothing about a safety. And that's the problem with a lot of the guys. They're so fixated on trying to make balls go into holes. They don't think about stopping their opponent putting balls into holes by playing good safety. And Cobra's given an example of that there, with that simple shot that he played. And now he's got everything under control. He's sitting plumb in the 5. And he should be good to go for the next rack after this one. And well, Well, Monster's getting himself distracted now. But there's no forgiving for missing that 9 ball. I think that website was called Sport Plus or something. The Stephen Henry match on it the other night. I'd be surprised if it doesn't have it on it tonight. The match has started half an hour ago. Well, we'll have another drop in the bracket here in a second or two once this rack is over. But I'm pretty certain that at the end of this match, Cobra is going to be well up on that top 10 list once this match is finished, because he's now 14-5 in front. We'll have a quick look and see that Bedhead has stretched his lead to 7-2, and Mark Shark, well, I don't know what's happened to Mark Shark, but the result still hasn't come through, and he's now 12-7 up. So Gung Ho's won a few racks. It seems making it a wee bit more of a decent score line. And I didn't hear anything drop there, although the 6 ball did go for Cobra, but he's got nothing in the 1. At least I don't think he has. He's looking to billiard this off the 3. He's picking the line off the 3 for the 1 to go into the corner. And now he's thinking of something else. But it looked immediately there that he's playing the billiard on to the 3 to the corner pocket. And, well, the 1 ball's gone along the rail. There's nothing easy. He'll take that. I'm looking for that link. Well, this is Wednesday night. There was already 2 people signed up for Friday night 9 ball. Popman and Spectre Dawn have already signed up, so anybody who's intending to enter the see if this works, to enter the Friday night 9 ball, you need to be quick. I don't think that's working. Let's try. I'll try it again. Nope, that link ain't working for me. It's not clicking. Oh, it is. Oh, that's bringing up the football. That's not a link for the snooker. He's just brought up a link for the website. Now, somebody given a proper link would have found the snooker and given a link for that. Zhu Shi, I was right enough about his name. Let's see if it works. It was very sort of laggy the other night when I tried it. Although it was still watchable in the end, I don't think it's... Oh, it's 1-0 to Henry. Right, I better get out of here before I get copyrighted. That's all I need to know. I just need to know the score, what's happening. Meanwhile, back to business. How does that 8 ball look? I can find my button. Well, that 8 ball is probably in the ugliest place it could ever sit on the table. Right on that point, and frozen to the rail. And Mark Shark has eventually come through. on the one lost side there. 13 racks to 7. And the 5 balls hanging, but Monster's got trouble ahead. Let's get back to that bracket. Good evening. Well, we know where the problem lies here. The question is though, how does Monster get this 8 ball safe? He can't pot it, but how does he keep it safe when he's got nowhere to hide? He's trying to get a chip on it. He can't pot it from there. He might try, even if he kicks it behind, it's not getting, because it's right on the point. It's not going in the hole. This is so difficult to pick a possible safety other than just rolling up to it, and that's another poor one. Touch like a sledgehammer he's got. And Cobra will go for the cut. He just has to make sure he's got enough spin on this cue ball to take it away from that pocket. Try and spin inside like that. Get the pot and get the cue ball safe rather than going in a straight line across and scratching. And again, the punishment is severe for a poor safety by Monster. It's handing it on a plate to Cobra. And it's now way beyond the possibility of Monster rescuing anything out of this match. Although he's going to get, well, I was going to say he's going to first go until the 3 ball dropped. But I'm pretty certain that Cobra is going to be not far off the top of this top 10 list at the end of this match. And this is certainly not going to be one of the racks because he's missed the cut and he's given VP Monster the invitation to have a go. It's going to have to be the 5-7 combo, no doubt about that. It doesn't necessarily need to be, but that would be the simplest shot, especially from where the 4 ball is. Aye, that will be right, Larry. That'll whip you straight off the top 10 list. Now, who the hell woke Stub up? You didn't get any? Oh, I'm very surprised, Larry. Well, Monster's now got another troublesome shot at distance. And another one again at distance. 2 straight on the 8. He's going to have to force it through. Oh, now this just needs to, it just needs to bounce slightly. And he needs to get a wee bit of dig in the cue ball just to avoid leaking up the table and scratching. And he's got it. So he's now 9 behind. 1 ball in the middle. Something else went in, I think it was a 5. And well, half a shot on the 2. A thin cut, cue ball running around, but he's trying to hide it now though. But he hasn't hid it well enough because Cobra can easily jump that and maybe even have a blast at an ambitious 2-9 here. or maybe even send it to the rail and kick it in off the 9. Anything could happen. Oh, what a shot. That is a cracking, that's the best jump of the night from that distance. That is a cracking shot. He's going to have to dig out another good one to have something on this 4-ball. I think he's going to be, you're going to need to convince me you can get that 4-ball. I think you can get it from here. You can get it from here. You can just cheat the pocket very slightly, I think. But he's got to get the 3 first, and that was a tall order. That's going to bounce, and it's going to give Monster a half chance. Well, that's taken a very good line to the 4. I don't think if you put it with your hand, with ball in hand, that's where you would put it, because I think he's absolutely plumb on this 4-ball. He couldn't have placed it any better. But now, having done that, he's going to have to play the 6-9. That was a legal hit, I think. Right. Now, pick the line of where the 6-ball is going, and that tangent line through the middle of the 6-ball has to make the cut in the 9. And once again, he hasn't got it. It wasn't easy, but maybe if he'd taken a wee bit more time to set himself, he might have given himself a better chance. Now that is just going to hold the jaw, and in it goes. Well, again, unless he gets over ambitious, he's going to leave this long. Just drop it in. I think the best word to describe Cobra is clinical. He's going to butcher you into small little pieces given the chance. And this has been a partial dissection on Monster by Cobra. Monster's had bits and pieces, and most of the bits and pieces he's not put to bed when he's had the chance. Missing a straight in 9-ball or virtually straight in, stuff like that is no good at this level. Good evening to Semi-Pro. And the miracle continues. The miracle is that I have not had a reboot since before this match started. I've got my toes crossed and my fingers crossed. And I've got a slap head. That's especially for Semi. Stephen Hendry up 1-0 in his second round qualifying match with Zhu Shi, or I think that's his name. He's probably like a 16-year-old Chinese boy who's just come on the tour. Hendry should be the favourite for that, even though he's not played for like 9 years. He probably have far too much upstairs. The only main thing is the scoring potential is not the same as what it used to be. He doesn't reply. Well, that's fine as long as you're sending the proposals. But bear in mind the problem. Where is it you are again, Mooncake? Where the hell are you? Are you in the Netherlands or England? I can't remember. But I've got an old Philly shave you know, the 3-head filler shaves, and I got that for my, I think I got that for my 16th birthday, and I've still got it, and it still works, and it's never had the blades changed. I could do my head with that, because that would just get rid of the like the 5 o'clock shadow that I've got in my head. Or I could lather my head up and just use the blades that I've got lying about and do my head that way. Get the proper Yul Brynner Kojak style. I'm beginning to like this. I love this. This is like night and day. I got up this morning and I looked as if I'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. That's how I looked. Well, I'm talking about my hair. I know I still look beautiful, but my hair looked awful. I thought you were more a Brillo pad and a squeegee, Mark. And meanwhile, with all of this banter going on, Cobra is just slowly, surely, clinically, deadly going to get over the line. He needs to punch this in or go for the big draw, because he was too straight, and he's going to be within 2 of round 3. And this match is an hour and 14 minutes old. We've got Bedhead playing Linus at the moment. Bedhead with what was a comfortable lead when we last checked. And we'll pop into that match as soon as this one's finished, although Bedhead's racing to get to the finishing line. And we've got that one lost side match as well between Dirties and Sergeresh. But Cobra's break, one of few, has come up dry. And Monster has pushed through to give Cobra a free look at the one, and well, he's not going to pass this invitation to pot the one. Again, not the best of push outs, it has to be said. To me, it was far safer to push over to the left side. The 5 ball's a blocker that side, and Cobra, I think, was trying the billiard on the 5, but the main thing he's got is distance. The last thing that players like Cobra need is encouragement to have a free go. But again, Monster's safety is sorely lacking. Okay, the 2 balls locked up pretty much, but that 2-8 might be a combo if Cobra can get himself somewhere this side. He's trying to billiard the 2 in. Well, the 1's done him a favour and kicked it in, and he's got a cut in the 1. Now, how about this 4 ball? Well, the 4 ball goes, but it goes when you're looking at it from where I am. And he's going to have to dig into this off the side rail, down past the 7. And I don't think, again, he could have played that much better. It's looking good from there. You can see enough of it. And just punch it in off the rail. And well, plenty of room if he just wants to run up towards the 8 ball, just so he can drop in the 6 from the top end of the table. That would be the the sort of logical thing to do, because that way you're coming down onto the 7. So let the cue ball run up the table. He might be going so that he's forced now to take it straight. This is a bit in between here. It's in between because if he drops it into the middle, the cue ball's going that way. And the fact that he's near the rail here means he's got less that he can get into the cue ball. So this is not cut and dried. But he's got it running. He's got it into the big open area. And he should be out. Now, does he want to risk running through and running into the 9? Or does he play the big draw? Looks like the big draw. Big draw to the side rail. Now, again, the obvious shot is down the left side. Just past the middle pocket is the golden rule. As long as you get there, he's hit the knuckle. But should get himself lined up to take him within 1 of round 3. And we'll get a look at the stats. It'll be interesting to see these stats at the end of this match, because I'm pretty certain that Cobra should be very close to the lead on that top 10 list for the Racks Ran. Tommy Yu in the lead at the moment with 13. Stubb and Larry tied on 12. And Cobra breaking off in the rack that he needs, and he's come up dry. And this time he's been extremely generous because he's left Monster right on the 1. He's also left the 2 right over the bottom right hand corner pocket, the 3 over the bottom left, and the 4's awkward. Oh no, it's not, that's the 8 ball, the 4's down here. I'm looking up the top there thinking that was the 4, it's the 8. The 4 is there. Well, out into the table for the 4 into the same pocket. And then again, with a bit of inside, let me think now, an inside right, and that will take you up to the left middle pocket to get a better line in the 5. And now here's the dangerous shot, because if you go behind the 7 to come over for the 6, you can end up hooking yourself behind the 8. If you go forward and come up between, see, he's gone behind like that, and that's the danger with that shot. You can hook yourself. He could have came up, he could have came that way just to get into this zone to give him a shot, but he's okay. Will Monster survive another rack? The answer to that with the commentator's curse is no, because he's hung the 7. I barely got the question out my mouth, and he's hung the 7. And these are the tough ones to judge the pace on. And that's gone wrong, unless it just comes round the corner, which, well, it hasn't really, but this is as difficult as you can leave them. If he goes full-blooded at this, he's going to let the cue ball run and come around the angles and into the table. I don't think he's going to be too gentle with this. Yeah, he's letting it run. He's doing everything right to play at 100% to get there. And so Cobra has breezed through to round 3 with a comprehensive win, 19 racks to 6. And Monster did well to get 6 of them. So it's well done to Cobra, and let's have a look at this stat here. First of all, we'll have a look and see how things line up. That match is going to update, and it's going to be Cobra against Mr. Fox. in round 3. We've got Larry up against Hazad, and we'll go and have a look at the stats, which are going to be interesting. If we go to the 9-ball stats and get the mouse to work, and then go to Racks Ran, well, there's Cobra. He got 6 in that match. I think he had 5 in his first match, and I thought he'd be at the top. I thought he did more than that, but he's got into 3rd place in his own. Sorry, no, wait a minute. 1st, 2nd. Yes, he's 3rd place in his own. Because you get 3 tied in 12. You get Cirrus, Larry, Stubb, then Cobra, and then MC Clarkey down on 8. So with that though, let's head back to the bracket, and we'll jump in and see what's left of the bedhead match. Meanwhile, we can see that Sergaresh is racing away to the 13 that he needs against Dirties. He's up 7-0. I'm trying to find the match between, I went past it there, I saw it, there it is. Oh, you played well, Cobra. Well done. I thought you had more racks run in that match, by the way. Did you see the stats there? You're on 11, so I think you got 6. Did you get 5 in your first match and 6 in that one? And commentator's curse has done it again. The jinx has worked. I've came into the room, Bedhead's missed the cut, and Linus has got a chance to pinch a rack back. So well done to me. But Linus can't find a potting angle. Where's that bottle went to? I'm gasping for a drink. Well, your high runs are already whooped. Tommy, use in front. Well, Bedhead, I don't know how Bedhead's stats have gone in this match. We'll have a look at that as well. I would suspect he's maybe improved slightly. He's now leading by 15 racks to 3. Bit of a messy table though for Linus, with a scratch off the break. Well, from Bedhead that is. I don't know what Linus's game really is, but I know that when I play in the mornings, Linus is usually on looking for the odd game of cowboy. But that's really all I see him play. I think Linus is from Sweden as well, is he not? Where's this? I thought Linus was from Sweden. Yes, he is. So it's an all Swedish affair. Probably just had their surstrumming for their tea. Well, the bank gets Linus an opportunity here. He didn't want to run into the 5. He wanted to come around behind the 5, take it into that top left hand corner pocket. So now he's having to go the roundabout way. no problem with getting to the 7. It's all about the pace. The pace and the pot. The pace looks good. And the angle looks decent as well. And again, the simple thing to do, drop this in as slow as you can and play the 8 up the table. Now this is where you have to try and baby it in or roll through and right through off the rail and out, because you don't want to do that. You see, that again was not thinking ahead. What he should have done was punch it in and roll through to get to there rather than this. But he's managed to take it out, but he's just put himself under more pressure doing that. Nine ball was taking a line towards that top corner pocket, and then it sort of drifted away, maybe a bit of spin or whatever, or it brushed something. But the break's dry. We've got the 4 and the 7 tied up. They're no good, and I don't even think they're set as anything, or are they? Let's have a look. Well, there's a wee gap, and it looks as if that 7's running to the jaw. That'll go. We'll soon find out what Bedhead thinks. Whether he wants to try and run into them or just run up the table and give himself a shot at it. And there's your answer. We'll have a look down the line. You'll have seen that it's going to the jaw, and if you hit it at the right pace, it's going to give it every chance to go in. Well, that was maybe not the right pace. Just a bit too firm. And this is not necessarily a big pocket either, because I think that's fairly tight, that 7. As Linus has just found out. Now Bedhead could just brush the 4 into the 5 and run around behind the 7, or he could try punching it around the table, but the chances are it's going to run up towards the 9 doing that, so he's just doing a little brush, but he didn't quite get the full cover. And that's, well, that was not a bad attempt there by Linus. The 6 ball still might give Linus a lifeline, because, well, when you look, again, if you look at it from right behind, it does go, but that's no good when you're playing a shot from here. You've got to be right behind it. So 6 ball is still difficult, but Bedhead's trying everything to get there, and that's an excellent shot. He couldn't have been sitting any better to get this 6 ball in. Well, there's Bedhead with his favourite shot. The Bedhead cut. And the pace is excellent. And Bedhead marches onwards. Quick look at this bracket again. What's happening in that other match? Where's it gone to? Is that other match finished? Oh no, there it is. And well, it's not good news for Dirties. It needs me to join the room to change his luck, because he's now 9-0 down in a race to 13. And we can't have that. He needs to get a rack in the board. That's not going to get a rail, is it? Oh, it's just got there. Good evening to MC McClarkey. Well, you missed a very strong performance by Cobra earlier on, the match that's just finished. He beat VP Monster by 19 racks to, what was it, 6 or 5? And we've got that one lost side match going on at the moment. Sergresh up 9-0 against Dirties in the race to 13. And we've got this one, which is our second winner side match from the night, to see who gets through to round 3. And the odds are heavily stacked in Bedhead's favour. I know what I need. I need a cup of coffee and to get that Stephen Hendry stream on. That's what I need. Well, this is a tricky one. Just controlling that pace to get nicely on the 9. I mean, it's a straightforward draw, so this is one of these punchy draws where you don't get a lot of juice into it, and the power is what gives you the draw, not the big deep screw. And that's how to control the pace on your draw shots, by learning to not dig as deep but go below the equator but get that little punchy bit of power into it, and it gives you better control over the draw shot, as Bedhead showed you there in that last shot, or the second last shot he played. So he's now 2 away. Oh, this is not looking good for Linus, because Bedhead is going to hide in the long grass here. And this is what you do when you've got them down. You don't give them any invites back to the party. You bury them even deeper if you can, because you've got a job to do. And that is pretty good. And Linus is going to have to jump to that short rail to get a hit on the 1. That's the only way he can get to it, by trying to jump over this 5 and 8 ball, which he should have enough room to do. And get it up onto the back end of that 1 ball. I think he's in, what did I say, he's on 11. He got 5 in his first match and he got 6 tonight. And he's in 3rd place on his own on the leaderboard. So Linus managed to get the kick, and he's not left it easy. But it is a starter for Bedhead, and we'll see how Bedhead's stats add up after this match, and we can get a look at how everything's updated, especially in the top 10 for the extra 1,000 V $, which is donated by tacticalgenius.com, one of our sponsors. Oh, right. Just as well he nudged that a wee bit. That could have got very ugly extremely quickly there. I'll say one thing for Bedhead. I mean, when he's in and he's warmed up, his pace control is pretty good. The one thing that would worry me for him in the long term in this tournament is he doesn't get a lot of table time. He's not one of these players that's in and out of challenge room any time he's here all the time. And that might be the one thing that might let him down. Just maybe not having... he needs a bit more table time. That could be maybe his downfall, but when he's in and he's warmed up, he looks good to me. And at 18-4, the scoreboard couldn't look much better. No, I would doubt it. I would doubt it very much. I don't think Bedhead's a Swede. They don't do much like that, and certainly spending all afternoon playing AI players in VP4 offline, I would hedge my bets that they don't do that. Albie doesn't do that, I don't think. So, Bedhead on the brink and going all out for it, and he should be all out, because this is, well, it's a formality just to drop behind the 7, or, well, I think he's going to have to drop behind it because he's right on the rail with this cue ball. He's going to have to take a risk here that he doesn't get held up with the 7. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's the only problem with this shot, is getting out into the table, and he's managed to do it. Well, again, for any latecomers, I've mentioned this earlier on. I spoke to Albinario this morning, and Albinario, I presume, has sent a proposal to Mal to try and arrange a match for, I think, I'm not sure whether he said Thursday, Friday or Friday, Saturday, but on those nights, or it might be the weekend as well, you might be right there, where it's going to be around about 8 o'clock, but nothing has confirmed yet. But what is confirmed is Bedhead has sailed through to round 3 with a comfortable win by 19 racks to 4, and the cream is beginning to bubble up to the top here in this tournament. We've had 2 very, very convincing wins tonight, and let's see how Bedhead affects the stats, and see whether he's now made a contribution. So we go to 9 ball stats, we go to racks run, and we can see Bedhead is now on 8, and he's joint there with MC McClarkey. Tommy Yu still in the lead, Cirrus on 2nd along with Larry, and of course Larry still to play in round 3. You've got Stubb there on 12, Cobra has jumped up to 11, Bedhead now on 8, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Well, they're tied in 10th there are Dubrovnik, Bill, Jose and Hazard all on 6. So there's room for improvement for a lot of the guys here, yep. And let's go back to the bracket and let's see if we can help Dirties out. What shot percentage? Hang on a minute. Get that to work again. What you want to see, Moneyball shot or common stats? The Moneyball percentage. Oh, wait a minute. What was I going to check? Moneyballs made. Oh, that's not the one I want to win. Where's the one I want? That's the one I want to check. well, we've now got a tie at the top for Moneyball's made in the break, and Cobra's joined it because he had 2 or 3 tonight. What was the stat you were wanting to see? The common one. Shot percentage. Well, you've got Cobra right at the top, having played 49 games. Now, obviously, there's a difference here in the amount of racks that people have played. Like Cirrus is on 59 games, and he's won 33 of them, but Cobra's played 49 and won 38 of them, and he's on a shot percentage of 87. You've got Spectre Dawn having only played 24 games, but he's won 19 of them, and he's an 86. And then you've got Stubb having played 43, winning 38, and Stubb has got the biggest win percentage there. It looks like it to me. He's an 88. You've got an 86 down there, which is Mooncake, and Stubb's shot percentage is 86.2. So there's barely a percentage difference there in the top 3. 4th place you've got Albinario. You've got One Pocket Slim, but again, these guys are short on racks. They've only got 23 played, but their win percentage is fairly high in that short amount of racks that they've played. You've got Bedhead on 51 with 38 racks won. MC Clarkey the same. Sorry, no, he's in 61. Cirrus, and then you all the way down there's Larry having played 52, 38, and he's down at 76. So the way to look at it, if you're down round about Bill and Larry's level and Mr. Fox's level, you're in the mid 70s, you're trying to get another 10% on that to be mixing it with these top guys. So there's room for improvement for these guys down this area to get in amongst the mix with these guys up here. So let's see if we can get in. That match might be over now with all of that time we've spent doing there. Let's see if we can find Dirty's match and give him a rack. Where the hell is it? Is it probably over now? Oh no, there it is. Well, he's got a rack anyway without our help. Let's get in. And almost a commentator's curse for Sergeresh there. Yeah, well done, Bedhead. You were looking pretty good. So Sergeresh gets the kick, and he gets it pretty safe. And Dirties has got rid of that blank off his score line. I don't think there's any matches. Are there any matches on tomorrow night? This is the 7th. I don't think there's anything listed for the 8th. There's a couple of matches on the 10th. I'm going to need a new bottle of water. Well, the biggest surprise of the night, and that's for, again, any latecomers, the biggest surprise of the night, and I'm not making this up, I'm not kidding you guys on, is the fact that my PC never rebooted. My PC has been rebooting all afternoon, just out of the blue, and that's not getting there, Sergeresh. And why it's managed to hold up for 2 hours without anything bad happening is a miracle. You see the problem in trying to move the cue ball. Dirties, I think, has got himself in trouble again. And a big, huge area to get onto that 6 ball. And the most important thing is that you do that. Yeah, you played the Bedhead cut. Yeah, everybody's seen it. And what was even more amazing was the fact that you got it. That was a surprising result there. You actually got one. But Dirties isn't helping himself. And there's a whole list of players. I could put them all on a list. And all of these players, certainly there's a lot of them don't get a lot of table time. And there's a lot of them have an awful long way to improve to be any sort of threat or any level of competition in these big tournaments. It's such a big ask. It's just as tough on the one-loss side as it is on that winner's side. It's so difficult to survive, and your game is just going to be torn to shreds. It's going to be bare bones when you get in there against somebody who can pot a ball and who can move the ball better than you. You're going to look a lot weaker. There's no hiding place. But Sergeresh has given Dirties all the encouragement he needs. Now he needs to get pretty straight on this 3 just so he can get to the rail for the 4. Because he doesn't want to be letting this cue ball move, because that's where he's going to struggle to get control. He's going to have to dig into the cue ball here to try and stop this cue ball running away. And now he doesn't want, see, he's now got too much angle on the 4. And this is where you have to put, it's like a jigsaw. I've got hiccups now from drinking the water. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You have to put the pieces together. And the pieces you're putting together is half decent shots to get you the next ball. And he's finished too far wide on that 4 ball, which is now why he's blocked out in the 5. Had he been straighter, he could have just rolled through for the 5 and he wouldn't have been anywhere near that 8. Basic things like that, you have to be able to see those. You have to be. Well, there's some of it is using your imagination, but some of it is more an obvious thing by the way physics work. The way the ball is too far off the rail when you need it straighter, and how you actually adjust the cue ball to get to that better position. This is about learning how to move the cue ball. It's the most important part of the whole game. If you can perfect and get better, just improve that little bit on that cue ball, you'll be a far better player. And also thinking about what you're doing. One dimension is no good. Well, it's run for cover here as thin as you like on this 5 and get right up behind that 7. He's going all out for the bank. But you see now he's got nothing. He's got a half chance in the 6. Now he's got more of a chance when you look at it like that. But he's got to take it out, that's the problem. And he's got it. And again, it's tough. Well, that's 6 and half a dozen. Good shape only ever comes by getting the cue ball moving good. So both of them marry up, then you run racks. Well, the jump escape is on. It's a good shot. Plenty of room round to the right behind the 9. Oh, he's coming up the inside. That'll do. Maybe it was a bit straighter than it looked from here, from the top end. But nevertheless, Sergeresh is sort of stumbling and bumbling, but he's getting there. And he stumbled and bumbled again, and the cue balls bounced into the middle pocket. And once again, Dirties has got a big task here in trying to run this table to survive. Well, that was never, at that pace, getting the cue ball off the rail to come out to here to have the half decent shot in the two, was it? You're having to try and pull things out the fire here, and that's never the way to achieve anything in 9-ball, let alone any other game. You've got to get to where you have the chance. You've got to get to the premium position to give you the best chance to pot that ball. And if you can't get there, you're always going to struggle. You can end up with shape like this all the time. No good on the 3, having to dig out a shot and pretty much guesswork to have anything near the 4. So everything's a struggle. But you've got all sorts of different levels in real life sport as you do in computer game sport, and you're seeing all of that in this tournament. But pretty soon, all of those that don't meet the standard, those that are classed as the one-dimensional players, they will fall by the wayside. That's a given. They're never ever going to fluke their way through to the business end of one of these tournaments. It just simply won't happen. They will gradually disappear. And players like Sergeresh will have a chance to survive, but they have to up the percentages in most departments if they're going to progress much deeper into this one-loss side, because sooner or later they're going to meet trouble heading over from this winner's side as the tournament gets further on. So there are minefields wherever you look in the tournament. But if Sergeresh can drop this into the middle, and commentator's curse has done him again, and again I don't think he spent a great deal of time just getting it lined, picking the spot and going for it. And once again, Super Admin has come in, and then he'll disappear. There you go. I don't know what the idea is of that. I think he's done that in every match that's been on, where he just comes in, has a look, disappears, back out. Well, it's all over for Dirties. Sergeresh wins comfortably by 13 racks to 3. So all that remains now is to have a final look at the bracket, which needs to update, as it will do in a second or two, and I don't think there's anything been new added to the bracket. I think that the matches that are still outstanding are for a couple of days' time. We've got Zwiley and Hairpig. They're set for the 10th, so that is, what day is this? Wednesday the 7th, Thursday 8th, Friday 9th, Saturday the 10th at 7 o'clock. We'll have that match. And there is also the match at 6 PM, so an hour before that we've got Super Noob and Jug-Eye Bob, or Juggy Bob, however you pronounce that. So they're the only two matches waiting to be played that have been set. The most important one that still remains, as far as I'm concerned, for round 2 is this match between Albinario and Mal. I would like to get that one, and I hope that gets agreed and settled at some point. Interchange X, well, he's on at night time, and that's the thing. Did I ask you where you were, Mooncake, and did you give me a reply? Because if you did, I never seen it. Yes, I did see Woody's video semi-pro. Yeah, I almost burst into tears Because there's going to be a time difference. If you're, I thought you were in the Netherlands for some strange reason, but there's, there's at least a 9-hour gap maximum between you and Interchange X. Because if he's in the west coast of the States, he's 8 hours behind me. Yeah, he does have to reply. But if he's 6 hours behind, yes, he will be on late at night my time, and I'm off tonight and I'll be off tomorrow. So if I see him tonight, I'll be asking him a question to get him to check his emails, and if he's not getting them, to make sure that he does check his. Well, if he's already arranged a match before, has he played in the tournament yet? Let's have a look. Where the hell is he in the bracket? Where are we? Right, Mark, see you later. I'm off to watch the snooker after this. Where the hell is it? Is that still a first round match, or am I just... I can't see it. Oh, he got through in a forfeit. Right, well... if I see him, or if anybody sees him, just ask him to get his emails checked and at least confirm one way or the other, if he does it. Yeah, there's nothing else on it, so that's it, guys. Thank God the PC held up. I don't know how it managed to do it. What's that? You're rescheduling now every morning as long as he doesn't reply. Aye, quite right. So thank you for your company. Hope you enjoyed what we saw tonight. Some very solid play from Cobra. Well done to Cobra. And well, I hope I can get this fixed one way or the other, long term. If it needs to be done, it will need to be done. So I will see you again soon, guys. I'm off for a coffee and to watch a bit of the Stephen Henry match, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.